Tottenham Hotspur, we're going to talk about them and potential title chances because it makes Flav really uncomfortable. And he's not here, so he can't defend himself. James, 12 games in the Premier League. Haven't lost one yet. 5th in the table. A handful of points away from the top spot. Are they going a bit under the radar at the moment?
This annoys me, this thing, because it's like Chris Marsden. Everyone always go on about how underrated he was, or Rydiger Johnson.
Fuck Chris Marsden.
Everyone goes on about Chris Marsden.
Here we go. If everyone's saying that someone's underrated, then it's not.
Yeah.
If everyone is like Rydiger Johnson, everyone's going,
He's
he's so
driving
underrated.
school. Chris Marsden, driving school.
You know, the bald one who played for Southampton.
Who went on about him?
Everyone used to go on about him, saying, he's so underrated. Or better, here's a better one. Rydiger Johnson. Everyone would go on how underrated he was.
Should have really led with Rydiger Johnson.
That's my point.
Really feel like that was your ace in the pack, and you could have come on to Chris Marsden.
No, I should have gone the other way around. Yeah, fair enough. But yeah, by everyone saying, he's so underrated, or Busquets. Everyone going,
fucking
underrated.
Chris Marsden! Fucking Busquets! Fucking won every fucking trophy in the cabinet.
There you go.
The other fella works at B and fucking Q now.
Yeah.
I got told off in the last video for not talking about older players and stuff like that. I was trying to go and talk to you on your level.
By bringing Chris Marsden in.
By bringing Chris Marsden.
Yeah, but you go with the Chris Marsden.
Was the example you were looking for.
Right,
Joe
okay.
Parkinson was the example.
Terrible as well. Joe Parkinson.
Fucking amazing player.
Right, I want to show of hands in the comments. Does anyone know who Joe Parkinson is? If you've heard of him, let us know in the comments. But if you haven't, also let us know. I know who he is because he played for Everton.
I know he is because Evertonians go on about him like he would have been the next Pirlo.
He would have been. He was an amazing player. Yeah. Fucking destroyed Ince and Keane in the FA Cup final in '95. Boss player. One of my mates as well.
Brett Angel as well.
No, Brett Angel was shit. And
he
does work at Asda, stacking shells. He really does. Because the football community doesn't want anything to do with him. Because he was that shit.
He was terrible.
My point is, if everyone says you're underrated,
so anyway,
then
Chris
you are
Marsden,
rated. That's my point. That's all I'm trying to say.
If everyone says you're underrated, you rated.
Yeah. If everyone's going, he's so underrated, everyone talking about you are rated.
I understand the point you've tried to make. I don't think you've made it particularly well.
Well, if you'd let me get that sentence out before jumping on me like the back of wolves,
maybe if you hadn't started with Chris fucking Marsden. Fucking hell.
I've learned something today. It's good. Yeah. Don't go with Chris Marsden.
Don't say anything.
Come back more like
near Ped. No, I do. I get you. I get the point you're trying to make.
Wait till a fucking train ticket.
But the point I'm trying to make is
that's a good point.
I think Spurs are getting a load of abuse. They're getting stick of Arsenal fans as always. They're not scoring goals. Yeah, they're not scoring loads of goals. They don't look the same team that they were last season. And as I say, and yet Ped, they're right there. You know, they're only a win or two. Yes. They win at the weekend. They're going to be right.
And also, you know, they've had the injury to Kane as well. So they've got through that spell. Yeah. But it's very Spursy that they're the only team left unbeaten and they're still 5th. Isn't it? I mean, that's the... But that, to me, Saturday was not a turning point as such, but I think that shows the character they've got. Yeah. And I know we spoke about earlier in an early video about the Champions League and how that... I don't think they're going to have to worry about that soon, either. So... They're saving the best form, it seems, for the league. They're grinding results out. Yeah. They've got that little bit of spirit. They're a good side.
At some point, Harry Kane's going to start scoring goals like Harry Kane does, and you feel that exactly, and you feel like that's actually their season's going to start to kick on.
Yeah, I still think at the moment, early days, obviously it's a 5-team title race, isn't it? At the moment, and Spurs are one of the 5. I think they're getting.
Just for the people watching at home, do you want to just tell us who the 5 are?
Liverpool. No, Liverpool, City, Chelsea, Arsenal, Spurs. I think that's the title race now. So as Man United fans, you know. In fact, no, you watched your team the other day. You know how this works. And Spurs are right in it. I agree. What they've done, they've had their bad spell, and they've had their bad spell, relatively speaking. They're still 5th, right on the title challenge, and their best player's been out, and he's just started scoring goals again. Mm-hmm. If he can get fit. And I'm not even sure he's 100% yet. Especially against Arsenal, when I watched the whole game, he was knackered at the end of it. Against West Ham,
that was the first one back, wasn't it?
Yeah, against West Ham the other day, he looked a bit better. He looked a bit sharper, but he wasn't, you know, what he was last year when he just looked like he was going to score goals every single time he got the ball almost. And obviously Dele Alli's been out injured.
Is Alderweireld back yet?
No, he's out as well. They've had Dele Alli's only just coming back as well. So they've had a little injury spell, and what they've done, they've clung onto the coattails. So even if they didn't, when everyone else was winning, they were drawing, and then they'd get the odd win, and then they'd draw, and then they'd win. And being fifth now, only a few points behind, means they're definitely in it. And you wouldn't be surprised if the defence is usually so good. If they kept clean sheets like in 5 of the next 6 or something mad like that, and just nick the odd goal in there, and before we know it, they could be second or even top.
The funny thing is apart from the form in the Champions League, I don't think Kane being out the worst thing in the world, because he started the season and he looked quite tired.
Yeah,
you know, after
I think there was a lot of pressure on him off the back of the Euros.
Yeah, but he'd had a couple of solid seasons, and then you got the Euros. And I think he looked flat when he started the season, which now he's had that little bit of a rest, even though it was forced on him.
Yeah.
And that might just kick.
It helped Son emerge as well, didn't it? It brought Son back out. He was looking to go. He was trying to leave, and then obviously I don't know whether the Kane fitness thing impacted the decision not to sell him, but he kept him. And now Kane's come back and Son's still playing well. They've found a little duo there, because I think Janssen, who they signed, is garbage. So they don't want to be playing him much. So if they can get Son playing and Kane playing, last year it was all on Harry Kane pretty much, wasn't it? Yeah. It was Harry Kane and hopefully the others chipping in with 2, 3, 4 goals.
Yeah, and at some point as well, you would expect Dele Alli to start
well,
getting back to that level he was at last season.
I think there's a lot made this season, James, about how I think teams starting so well. And I think everyone looks to try. You need to talk about stuff, don't you? So you need to try and put teams up on pedestals at all times, especially on this show. But I think everyone's so enamoured with the bright start, the vibrant start to the season. Whereas, you know, historically, the teams you're meant to sort of start slow, but you know, Spurs are doing it the right way to some extent. They're not getting beaten. They keep the building form, the building points, and you would expect if the things start to click into pace, Harry Kane starts going, Dele Alli to get Alderweireld back in the second half of the season, it wouldn't surprise me to see them actually click back into the form they had in last season. That could stand them in really good stead as far as the title goes.
Yeah, possibly. I mean, I think they'll be around there. I can't. Something to sort of Amy says that I don't think they'll do it. I don't think they'll be in the top 2 either. I think they're in terms of goals. I think they are missing something, and I think Dele Alli's having that sort of second season where there's a lot more pressure on him, and I think that is affecting him a little bit. And you're right, it hasn't clicked yet, but because they've got a great defence and I think a great manager as well, I don't think they're not going to capitulate at any point. They'll keep ticking along, but I think they'll always just be
Is it more important for Spurs to now get consistent finishes in the top 4 than, and this might sound stupid, than actually do well in the Champions League, if that makes sense? So they're in the Champions League at the moment, they're getting the money from it. Now, rather than them getting to like the quarter-finals every year like Arsenal do, but drop below the top 4, is it better that they should be getting in there even if they just get in the group stages?
No, I completely agree with that, and I think because you need that. We've seen that at Liverpool, is that we went from being... We took us a while to get into the Champions League, and then we had that like 5 or 6 year spell, 7, 8 even, like of being in there every year. It builds your reputation up. You build up a fan base. You build up your ability to buy a different calibre of footballer. Whereas at the minute, Spurs, I've got that the up and down, the in and out thing. There's no consistency to it. You need to be able to do that to grow as a footballer.
Because when they had that good year under Redknapp, when they got into it and they beat Inter Milan and things, I think they dropped out the top 4 that season because I think they did so well. Yeah. I think it would be more helpful if they got that consistency of just getting in there.
We mock Arsenal, but all the time. But you know, it's a joke. But finishing 4th and getting out of the groups in the Champions League, look, it's not the kind of thing that you want to build a football club around long term, because you know silverware is vital. It's the lifeblood of being a fan, having that level of success, something to remember. But that being said, you know, that is such an achievement in and of itself.
It's a good foundation, isn't it?
Exactly.
My only thing with Spurs is, in a couple of years' time, they'll move grounds. I'm not sure if it's next season or the season. It's next door, so it's moving. Now, the last, West Ham have struggled moving grounds. Arsenal at first struggled moving grounds. So they might get to the point where they if they don't do it soon, it might be a complete issue.
Isn't that the fact that they're playing at Wembley this season, almost like that? It's crossover.
Yeah, and they're not doing well. That's what I'm saying. When you're on when your home ground isn't your home ground for the first year or two, it can be an issue. So if I was them, they need to just, like I say, even if they don't win it, if they can stick around second, third, fourth for 2, 3, 4 years, and then they got a new stadium with the more money and then the Champions League, and they should have better players, then that might be the chance to go. I mean, I wouldn't rule out that. I wouldn't say Spurs aren't going to win the league this year. I don't think they will. I think there's a couple of teams who are better than them. But when you've got a lad who can score 30 goals a season, which Harry Kane can, and they've got that goalie and those two centre halves when they're fit, they've got a chance in every single game. Yeah. All they need to do, when I watched it, for me the other day, they look a bit slow still. They look moving the ball. Spurs, when they were at the best, even last season, at times they were so rapid and they moved the ball quickly, and it all looked a bit laboured the other day. If they can, obviously, it might just be because they're.
I think Dele Alli's a huge part of that, and Eriksen wasn't working in.
And also, Dyer's playing centre half, and I thought when he played in midfield, everyone sees him as a stopper, which I kind of get because he does that job, but he does use the ball well. And when he was playing centre half, I think if you can get him in midfield with Dembele and Dele Alli, then all of a sudden I think you're a bit more dynamic as well. But what they've done, they've come through their injury crisis now, and they're still in contention where an injury crisis. West Ham have had an injury crisis, and then they're in the relegation zone or close to it. Yeah. Spurs have done, obviously not that bad, where they're going to be down there.
Eric Dyer is very much seen as the next Chris Marsden.
I think that, he's going badly under the radar.
That was good. Yeah. That was good.
When he grows up, he's got Chris Marsden posters on his wall.
When he blows up, when he's on the front cover of Shoot, then you know it's on as far as the title goes. There you go.
He's going to shave his head when he gets.
Amazing. Let us know your thoughts on that then. Who is the next Chris Marsden? Throw some suggestions.
Did you think Chris Marsden was underrated?
Do you even know who Chris Marsden
I don't know he is.
And Joe Parkinson. Our Spurs genuine title contenders, have they got under the radar? Thoughts in the comments below. Subscribe, of course, and check out the rest of the videos on the Social Club this week.